Welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. And hello to all of you in the room. Hey, what's going on, Brother Nate? I do see you. Hey, Queen Diva, always a pleasure to see you. And Patty, always an honor. Hey, what's up, Miss Bishop? How are you? It's great to see you. Hey, T. Trisha One, how are you? And thank you for catching the live in the beginning. So hopefully you enjoy. Brother Nate, just let me know when you're ready so we can get this ball rolling. Hopefully everybody's had a great start to your week. And hello, sir. How are you?
Fine, sir. And yourself?
Okay, Russian as usual, but you know.
Yeah, kind of figure. But you all right.
Yeah. I did all my homework other than the pictures and stuff. I was like, I ain't doing that. I can't do that. Not today. Didn't have time, but yeah, it was a very eventful weekend.
Yeah, nice weekend.
Yeah, I mean, didn't really do much, but also as far as a lot of things going on. So there's definitely some things to talk about.
And I see that you're still harnessed up.
Yes. This came in the mail the other day, so I figured I'd try it out. Yeah,
very nice. Look here, say show it to us.
I don't know about the back part. I still gotta fix it. It's still a little up here in the front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it make me look like Tim. Oh man, Uncle Tim.
I wasn't gonna laugh.
No, because it like really it's a little too tight, and it makes and I'm a skinny guy, but it makes the belly look like like, oh, is you having a baby?
You got a little belly.
I need to.
Well, it is getting warm out. So.
Yeah, I mean, nothing the little crunches from me won't knock it right out. But I was like, oh no, we got to open this up. I ain't trying to like nobody
call the paramedics on you, huh?
Yeah, nobody's pregnant uncle. And thank God I do have my teeth. But yeah, ain't nobody trying to look all crazy. So from right here, right now, it looks great, and we're gonna just go with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I have a black one coming too. I saw it on actually. What's that name of that movie where they were going around the world unlocking safes? It was on Netflix.
Oh, it was like a team or whatever.
Yeah, like a team of professional robbers. And the one guy had it on. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I was like hunting the internet trying to find. I was like, oh, I found something. And so yeah, that's how that started.
Did you get the things I sent you?
Which one? Recently?
Files. Yeah, the files. Were they all right?
Oh yeah, I didn't. The one file I didn't open yet, but the other ones I did.
Okay, but as long as you were able to play them, right?
Yeah, but it was always keep asking me to get the permission thing, and I was just like,
I don't know what for.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Right, I don't know.
I separated it.
Yeah,
it only does that when the sender, the one person that sends it to me, and I okay it and go look through it, make sure everything looks all right, and instead of coming directly from him, it came from me. So I purposely loaded it up to my account.
Right. So everybody knows I'm not high. It's just because I put coconut oil on my face, and I think it kind of like worked its way down to my eyeballs. So it's like burning.
You had an overdose.
Something.
You still winning hard as I don't know.
We don't do them junkie stunts.
You running in here late.
We don't do them junkie stunts. But anyway.
Yeah, we all do things that we don't do things, right?
No.
Oh yeah.
Not them things.
If you haven't, you need to start.
Not them things. No, thank you. Don't start none, don't be none. And we'll just leave it at that. All right. So let's get started with, of course, news updates. All right, news updates. Where to begin? Let's just start with the most incredible one. Oh, first and foremost, I forget not to give everybody a round of applause for being here. Thank you. You guys need that because, of course, it's always good to be applauded when necessary. Some people, but so anyway, Texas court. We all remember Amber Geiger. Amber Geiger was the young, dainty Saltine who went into the wrong apartment and opened fire on Botham John, who was the young man who was just chilling in his PJs, smoking his little refreshment and eating his ice cream and minding his goddamn business in his own apartment when he got shot by an intruder who claimed that she didn't know she was in the wrong apartment. So former Dallas police officer Amber Geiger, who was indicted on murder charges nearly 3 months after she fatally shot an unarmed neighbor whose apartment she said she entered by mistake, believing that it was her own. It's unclear when Geiger first talked to investigators in September of 2018 about the shooting, but she was eventually charged and served and, was serving 10 years in prison for her conviction of murder back in 2019. Of course, as I've always talked about, you always know how it's cool to get justice, but will justice remain justice once everybody goes away and things quiet down? So since she has been doing this time in jail, her and her lawyers, because it's not just her by herself, have been gunning for appeals time after time after time after time since this whole thing has happened to basically get her conviction overturned. So the 9 members of the Court of Final Appeals of Judicial in the criminal case have decided their decision, which means that Geiger has likely exhausted all of her avenues for appeals for her conviction and sentence. Let's see. Her lawyers did not immediately respond. Of course, she plans to go through some other appeals or kind of have it overturned. But it's just very interesting how they always do this. They get convicted of something, and instantly it's like, okay, once the cameras go away, we stop talking about it. In the background, they are working to get those convictions overturned. So I just wanted to get your thoughts real quick on this.
Yeah, well, we know she was gunning for it as soon as the damn trial was over.
Yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, it's not surprised, but it's just like, damn, like you can't even, you did kill a man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
you have to serve some punishment.
Right. Let's not even go. You murdered a human being. You know what I'm saying? Like we can talk about how you mistakenly thought it was your apartment, let alone you don't know what your apartment looks like. You know what I'm saying? You
don't know what your apartment smells like.
Right.
Seriously, you walk in there and it was he was probably sitting around in his underwear and his socks.
Right.
And it smelled musky.
Right. And
you know that was not your.
And then again, if it was, maybe you need to do a check.
Yeah, that's how you know.
Right.
I mean, some people just have, you just have, from the things you cook.
You just have,
if you have pets and whatever else.
Right. It smelled like a bit of flavoring in there. You already know he's an island person. It didn't smell like plain old mayonnaise and Miracle Whip and all that other stuff that y'all use with no seasoning. It didn't smell like that. It was just it. I don't know. I can't find an excuse for it. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you are still trying to, and again, this all plays in part of the family kind of giving that, oh, it's okay, we forgive you type bullshit that I'm sure her and her lawyer have been hanging on to and showing it to every appeal judge to try and get this overturned. But at the end of the day, you murdered someone, period. And the fact that you can't...
She would have just done better if she'd done a couple of years.
Yeah, that's it.
It hasn't even been a solid 2.
No.
Who she thinks she is, Jussie Smollett?
I think so.
You need to do some time.
Right. I think she is really trying to get she probably tried to reach out to Donald Trump. And let's not even talk about that fool. In other news, of course, the Grammys happened this can, and I did not watch it, so please don't ask me about it.
Me neither.
But the president of Zelensky had did a formal kind of video, basically saying that, in a nutshell, music is universal, which it is. It crosses all boundaries and all spectrums, and right now they are being attacked. And music, among other things, should bring us together and help us fight, or help them fight Russia, who is being a tyrant right now and trying to take over their sovereignty. Okay, I get
Where's
it.
the petition? I'll sign a petition.
Right. But
Go home.
But what do you expect these celebrities to do other than, because they're not going to war, other than promote other citizens to go over there and help fight? Because they're not going.
No, so he's real smart. He knows that people have a short attention span of a tick. Okay, right. Plain and simple. You got and you know, he got really covered up this week because of the slap. That's why everything has been relatively quiet,
right?
Because everybody's been
still
talking about
the goddamn.
Well, there's still more stuff that's coming out as it's dribbling. But back to him. But he's using. He knows how people are now. Mm-hmm. If you're not in that news cycle, right, you're going to lose that 15 minutes.
That's it.
You know, everybody's already starting to tune out because that's all you see all day long.
Right.
You know, unless it's something real groundbreaking like the Soviets.
And it's not happening in your own backyard.
Yeah, and doesn't really concern you. It's like, oh, we're sorry. You know, we've been looking at this for the past month. You know, kind of tired of it, and you're going to tune out. So he's being very smart in using the fact that, you know, he could actually get a signal out.
Right.
You know, even if it's on the phone, you know, this is still going on. That's happening. So I have to commend him on that.
Yeah, I mean, he is using the media and all of its facets to his advantage. I'll give him that.
Because you know, we don't want to listen to that shit all day long.
Right. Somebody asked why they didn't have to smell musty.
Musty. You walk in a man's apartment or his house, and especially certain time, because I guess it was pretty warm when that happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they had she had short sleeve work shirt on or whatever. Yeah, it's musky. That's what it is. Some people like smelling musk.
And not the cologne.
Not the cologne.
All right. So some other interesting news that I thought we should all pay attention to. Social Security retirement age is moving on up. Like George and Wheezy, so is retirement. Now to 67 from 65. Some experts say it could go up even higher. Damn near you'll be working to your 80s. While many people are retiring at 62 and actually foregoing some of the benefits of reaching 65, they have been talking about moving the retirement age from even 65 to 67. The normal retirement age could be pushed up even higher on how lawmakers who choose to address the sovereignty program of Social Security choose to act. Now, again, this all plays into the people you voting for, what they aligned with, and even if you didn't vote for them, you can't just let them do anything. Sometimes you just got to stand up and say, hey, enough's enough. This is crazy. I granted, I know some older people, even my grandmother, who, I mean, she's 80 and change and she still works, but she chooses to do it at her leisure, not because she has to, but to keep herself busy and active.
Oh, but I'm sure grandma giving them hell too, because your whole mindset changes.
Right. There's shit you're not gonna do, and you're not gonna call me about, but she loves to do what she does, and plus she still operates in the church like nobody's business. So
keeps her busy, and it's stuff that she wants to do.
Right. But to be forcing people to work to they 7.
Well, that's so they can steal more money.
Yeah,
that's all that is.
Of course.
Because if you can fund and give billions and billions of dollars to another country,
to fight a war
on a whim,
yeah,
they showed what they could do when we first broke out and the scabies past 2 years.
Right. Right. Very true. So I just, find that to be very interesting. So please, we want to make sure that we paying attention to that. So know that your House representatives last week approved a retirement bill that could push up the age of retirement, requiring a minimum distribution of certain savings accounts up till 75. And of course, the current age, they say right now is 72. But the changes,
What, for retirement?
yeah, if passed by the Senate, yeah, I didn't even know that. But
72.
72 could.
I know you get a certain percentage. Most people don't make it that far.
Yeah,
I've seen people retire
but this is
and drop dead, and that's what they want you to do: work to the very end.
But this is what I'm saying. This doesn't make any sense. So you telling me people can sit here and work, retire, or either reach close to retirement age, die, and then nothing happens to that money? It just goes back into the pot for somebody else? That's ridiculous. You can't even give it to the family of the people living, other than the wife.
You need to find somebody to give it to.
That's
I'm serious.
Crazy. That is
it's real crazy. Homeowners insurance. It's crazy. You pay on it until something happens to you. But once your house is paid for, that's it.
That doesn't make
and all that money you put in to paying those monthly, it's gone once the house is paid for.
Yeah. And then on top of that, Lord, don't let something happen that's quote unquote not covered when you ask for everything. So please make sure, for those of you who live in states that flood, that you have flood insurance. Sometimes it comes separate to your other homeowners insurance, because they don't consider that to be a quote unquote act of God. But it's like, well, who the hell did it? Did somebody, say, hey, let me pour all this water down in your basements and flood your house.
Especially now with climate change.
Right.
We're getting flooding in areas that never did before.
They don't believe it exists.
It exists. Right. Ask Rico.
No comment.
He said it. He said it himself.
All right. So
these were his words, not mine.
In the words of good old Stop Down, those are his words and not mine. Not mine. All right. So I know I had some other international news here somewhere. Just give me a second. Where'd it go? No, we'll talk about that later. Ain't nobody talking about that now. Nope. Nope. We'll talk about that in a second. Okay, we could do that. That's health. All right. So Black people are not adequately represented in studies that are shown to have long-term effects of COVID. It's mainly other races that it has focused on the long-term effects of COVID. Of course, this not surprised. Very seldom do we actually get studies that focus on the effects that happen to us. So this kind of sort of didn't surprise me.
You kind of always knew,
right?
When certain things happen,
right? That we may get the ones that are stuck the most, or tested the most, or kind of given the, let's try this, see how this works. But very seldom are studies actually done to actually see what the chronic effects of this corona is, and the hospitalization, all those things that are not talked about. So, and this has been going on for 2 years. Can you believe it? This pandemic has been going on for 2 years. But in the state the state of Black America emphasizes the inequalities of the healthcare system to ensure the future of health equality. And again, we talked about last week and a few weeks ago, we always been talking about that the system of inequality, racism, and all that is far more broad than just the judicial system, justice system, of course, imprisonment and things of that nature. We're dealing with the same things in healthcare. We're dealing with the same things in education. all across the board, finances. So it is a never ending battle that we definitely need to fight on all fronts. And especially with health, because your health is your wealth. So we need to start taking care of our own health and being focused on what's going on in our own bodies and know what's going on in your body. So if you don't feel right, look it up. I mean, trust me, my friends call me a hypochondriac for a reason. I will look it up in a minute. But
yeah, I mean, now that you have the means to,
right,
you know, take more control of your health.
Right, exactly. And that way when you go into the office, you're immediately saying, well, I have these symptoms, I feel like this is what's happening. I read that it could possibly be this, so maybe test me for this, use this blood test, I want this test done and that test done, instead of going in there and they just picking out random tests that you probably don't even need, just to either fill a quota or just ring up the prices, because they figure you don't know, you just in there to trusting the physician to actually
pretty much they're mechanics. Okay,
yeah, right, exactly.
They're mechanics, and you get some that are quacks. Okay,
right, and you get some that's like, well, it looks like you need a tune-up. Like, I don't need a tune-up, I'm fine. No, well, let's just do this, and while we at it, we're gonna check your brakes and this, that, and the other. And you're just like, I just came here to get an oil change. Can I just get an oil change, please? So yeah, with that, we need to take those same steps and just guard our health. And
if you can find a doctor that looks like you,
that too,
that has a big
yes,
big thing, has a big thing.
Knocking those doctors and nurses that don't look like us, but like anything, like education, when you had an educator that looked like you and spoke like you and had the same kind of experiences you had, there's a different kind of connection that you do share. And it's just natural how things are.
Patty, would you say you have a laundry list? Yeah, it gets like that. Should start breaking down. Well, I noticed this.
Right. And the doctor be like, did you look it up online? I did. But I also know, that it don't have to necessarily be that, but just in case.
Just in case.
Right. Like when we read last week about people who've had COVID wind up having diabetes or type 2 diabetes. I was like, I need that checked. Well, no, you fine. No, I just want to check because of what I read. And it's just something that I want to do. Like,
Yeah, because you don't know whether or not that doctor has read that material. Even heard, or even heard about it.
Right.
And so it may be the first time for him. So it makes him more aware.
Exactly. And that's all it's about is awareness. Now, the one story would not populate for me because it was telling me to sign up for a subscription. And I was like, oh, hell to the no. But this I thought was interesting. Gordon's Plaza was sold as a dream for Black home buyers, and it turns out to be a toxic nightmare. The New Orleans city officials allowed developers to build homes on land contaminated with chemicals linked to cancer. Surprise, surprise. Here we go again. So the New Orleans, for 28 years, there was a family that had been going, or somebody who had been going door to door, kind of knocking on strangers' doors from the Environmental Protection Agency, walking around in houses, speaking to mothers who have and other people in the neighborhood who did not know that their land that they've been living on was full of toxic chemicals. This has been going on for, let's see, wait a minute. They said that they had dug up the dirt and they found that it was 149 toxic chemicals in the dirt, and 49 of them out of the 149, 49 of them were linked to cancer, according to analysis from the Environmental Protection Agency. This basically this cul-de-sac had 57 families living in it in a subdivision. It's just like, I mean, again, here we go with not surprised. They'll sell you anything, or they'll sell us anything for that dream of having home ownership, when they know that the land is shit. I don't know, man. This was just like, really? And so, of course,
Yeah, that was
people
from the
came to sue.
that was
Mhm.
from the fifth. That was from the 50s when
Right.
they sold these people on that idea, putting them on poison ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then you wonder why you have these clusters of cancers and things like that that are
Right.
items that are unique in in your area.
Mm-hmm.
But they made money off of land that they would not have been able to sell because it's
They
just
made tons of money. They made
Mhm.
tons of money. So a judge has just reaffirmed the 2006 court decision, but agreed with an appellate court's decision to lower the damages, awarding 75 million to a class of 5,000 plaintiffs.
Okay, real quick.
Mhm.
Originally, they were supposed to get 99.
Right. Yeah, I was just about to read that.
Okay. Oh, okay.
90. Yeah, they were
Yeah,
supposed to get
yeah,
90 million. 90 million from the state court judgment against the city. And recently, just last month, a judge kind of doodled that down to 75 million.
Well, one of their tricks is to wait it out,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
stall,
To
and then that
stall.
way you're looking at
Some
what
people
about
die.
you have people that die,
Yeah.
and think about the amount of money they're supposed to be splitting that money with 5,000 other people,
Right.
and then it's in coordinates to when you've purchased your house.
Exactly.
Some people just left.
Right.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Right. So,
But
it's
it like I said, it's pretty much we'll give them the shit. They'll be all right. Or by the time somebody finds out about it,
yeah. That,
they won't
that's
be
the
able to
part.
do anything about it. But
Right.
here you're paying mortgage on poison ground.
Yeah.
And not only that, it was a school that was built, an elementary
Mhm.
school that was built on the property also, in this subdivision or whatever also.
It was. It was. Sorry. One of my friends sent me a text message talking about what happened to the landing strip. It's gone.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
That's good.
I was too busy. I was too busy looking at the harness.
Nobody was supposed to notice.
Hey, Auntie Donna, how you doing?
Hey, Auntie, what's going on? How are you? Always
Minty.
great to see you. And yeah, so basically, be mindful. Again, those of you who are landowners, homeowners, take a gander at where you live. Do some research and some history on where
Yeah, you can research
your
the
house
property.
is.
What
You can
was
always
there
research your
before,
property.
everything, if anything.
Right. Yeah, you can always research your property. Who was there before? If anything had happened, somebody got killed, shot up in there. Know what you're buying before you sign on the dotted line. A lot of times these real estate people are just out to make some money, and especially when they know there are people who are looking to get a fresh start, to be first-time home buyers, just wanting a piece of that 90 acres and a mule that they promised, that sometimes they're willing to cover up some things just so people can buy them. So be mindful.
It was a win-win for them.
Yeah, either way, you know what I'm saying? Either way, it's a win-win. And then it's like, even with the lawsuit, like you said, people are moving, people are dying. So the longer they keep waiting, they can keep knocking that, that settlement.
But think about the ones that can't afford to move.
Right. Yeah.
Because their property value is trash. It's not worth anything.
It's not worth nothing. So it's like, you selling it for what?
Oh no, you pretty much just giving it away.
Right.
You're gonna end up in an apartment somewhere in some hole in the wall.
That's
it. And this was in Mississippi?
This New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't be like that. All right. So Human Rights Campaign celebrates Transgender Day with visibility in 2022. Transgender Day of Visibility. So, Human Rights Campaign, which is known as HRC, is the nation's largest lesbian, gay, transgender, queer, LGBT alphabet soup civil rights organization that honors International Transgender Day of Visibility, which was on March 31st. Didn't know that. All right, so it's a day to celebrate transgenders and non-binary people around the globe and acknowledge the courageous ways they live their lives openly and authentically themselves. Basically, this talks about a lot of the laws that have been enacted to against transgendered and non-binary people, the murders of Black trans women that
I was real surprised to hear about the trans man
go unnoticed
a
and
couple
undressed.
months ago.
Yeah. That was pretty shocking to me too. And places like, of course, the great state of Texas with Governor Abbott, and of course Florida with Ron DeSantis.
What's wrong with those people in them in Florida?
I don't know. And then Ron DeSantis signing the I don't know if the actual bill is "Don't Say Gay," but basically it is. In going through it and actually reading it, it talks about not teaching children about gay identity and stuff like that at an early age. But then I thought about that, and at one point I was like, that's true. You should let them, kind of grow up and not have lessons about that. But then I thought about the people who have said that they knew at an early age that they were different.
Not only that, they see what's going on.
Right.
It's so you don't have you don't have to worry about them learning about it from school,
right?
Because it's on TV,
right?
It's on these apps,
right?
It's already here,
right?
It's just what he's doing is just a selling point,
right?
So he can get back and stay in office or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, of course, and it goes after the heart of the religious fanatic who is so
all those fucking nuts, man.
Who's so gun ho on Jesus, and it's like, okay, but you're willing to.
Let me tell you something. Why in the hell would you want to deal with the church worrying about sexuality when they don't even do a good job of it on their own, discussing their so-called
sexuality,
quotes,
right?
Sexuality,
right?
They don't even want to discuss that, but yet they're doing everything, and obviously the choir director too. Because remember, did you see that one about with the pastor?
With the pastor doing that?
Yeah, he knew what he was doing. He was all up in there
doing that old weak stroke, and then the boy talking about, so you better hurry up so you can get back to your wife. You didn't know you was being recorded.
I was getting ready to say, did he even know that he was being recorded?
I don't think so, but he should have, with him talking about you better hurry up so you can go back to your wife.
He probably tell him anything. But he was all up in the ear because his face was he was showing his face and everything. And I was like,
the church members said that they don't believe it's him. I'm like, come on, y'all cannot be that delusional. I mean,
yes, they can.
I know
believe pastor can't do no wrong.
I know religion makes a lot of people delusional, but that's just absolutely.
No, it's mind control. You want to control a man?
Just
control his mind.
That makes no sense. But and again, what somebody chooses to do in their bedroom is their business. But I just don't like the attack that you give to others who
don't say that you plow on somebody.
Sexual, right? Who don't have?
I don't want them. I don't want them in my church. You can't come here.
Right.
All you're supposed to be doing is.
That's it.
All you're supposed to be doing is praying.
Right.
You're supposed to be praying for them. That's it. You're not supposed to delegate their lives. That's between them and God.
That's God. It's that. I don't need you praying for me when you're going through your own shit. Keep that. You can keep that prayer. I'm all right. I'm good. But again, when they're doing stuff like this, and it's just like, oh, okay. Like even with Kim Burrell, girl, you've been mad and upset that the person that you chose to marry was out getting his booty plowed, and so now you hate you have something to say about every gay person, but yet and still they doing your hair and doing your makeup. Well, they haven't as of recently since she's been saying all that shit. That's why her hair and her makeup has been looking a
She look a
hot
mess.
But before then she had so much.
I mean, she just needs
It's
to
like
figure out.
figure out what you're angry at. You know what I'm saying?
What you're angry at, and that you need to brush up on your
Yeah, you
picking a
need to
man's
brush up on your
skills.
gaydar or something. I don't know what you like.
Because if you don't see it, no,
right.
you know what? She should have faulted her friends. Because I'm sure her friends knew.
Her friends probably told her ass, but she didn't want to believe it. Sitting up there like Star Jones. She was sitting up there like Star Jones with a full old gay man talking about.
Oh yeah,
he ain't gay. You see
when
he
doing toga party.
Men party, his goddamn grooming party. Every one of them motherfuckers look gay.
Yeah, you
look at them. No. There's no way. I can't.
Hey AR. Hey Rico. How you doing, man?
What's going on? Hey everybody, welcome. As you're coming in, please make sure you hit that like button, please and thank you. But yeah, I just think that
we're talking about people. That's all. Yeah, but she needs to learn some new skills while she out there buying them shoes and shit.
First of all, she needs to get some heels that have some steel
reinforcement. She needs to go work out them ankles. What's the point of having nice looking shoes when you ain't got the ankles to support it?
Them boots be buckling. I can't. Not with the buckly boots, but
that was funny for the holidays.
It was hilarious. All right, so in other news, Say It Ain't So, the other Joe from West Virginia, says that he'll vote yes on Katana Brown Jackson, who's the soon-to-be Supreme Court justice.
Katanji. Who's Katana?
Excuse me. Katanji, right. Katanji Brown Jackson, who will hopefully soon to be the Supreme Court justice. So we'll see if he votes. But of course, Susan Collins says she's going to vote. So we'll see.
And I can't remember his name.
I don't know about Christian Cinema. I don't know if she's spoken about.
Oh, you know what? She hasn't said anything.
Yeah, right. So that's why I'm saying that's the reason why the vote may be really, really tight. Because if Collins votes yes, then I think Murkowski may vote yes as well. And what's his name? Mitt Romney.
Romney, that's who it was.
He might vote yes as well. So then that's three on the Republican
side. He said he would.
Yeah, but sometimes, I don't trust these mofos. They say yes.
I don't trust the Democrats.
Yeah, that too. I don't trust them either. That's why I'm worried. That's why I know it's going to be a tight vote. Because Christian Cinema, I know she's probably going to vote no. And this old Joe Schmo character, he might vote no as well. He say yes now, but come voting day, he'll turn around and vote no for some bullshit. So which means we may, in fact, need Vice President Kamala Harris's vote to push it right along.
You definitely can't say it's set in stone, especially not after the tricks and flips that he's done. I wouldn't trust him for anything.
I wouldn't trust him at all. The other story we're going to save for what you call it. So the NAACP files a lawsuit against Tennessee controller who claimed to threaten to take over a majority Black-owned town is discriminatory. Representatives from a majority Black town in Tennessee, and NAACP has filed a lawsuit on Friday alleging that the state controller exceeded his authority and racially discriminated against the town in its financial dealings. Again, here we go with not surprised. I'm just not they've been doing this. This is Tulsa. This is Rosewood. This is all the places where you try to do your own thing and build your own economy and build your own safe haven, and they always come along eventually and go, they getting too much over there. They doing too much. Let's go over here and see what the hell they doing. I just I don't buy it.
Oh, did you read the part about the car manufacturer? That's one of the reasons why they're trying to get trying to seize controls because
I
they're supposed to
did
be
earlier,
having
but hold
a
on 1 second. Let me
car
go to it.
manufacturer that's supposed to open up a plant there, and they want to siphon off some of the funds there
I'm sure. I'm sure anything that will bring
and give their white constituents
a chance, right,
a chance at it too, because from that town, that particular town, it's the plant would be 10 miles,
right.
and they have two other neighboring counties that are roughly 95% white.
But that's the problem. But the thing about it is, in a nutshell, if you do it the other way around, we don't get that same accessibility to the white plants to actually be employed. So then why must we turn around and go, well, okay, if a plant is going to come here to give us more jobs, then why do we have to act like, oh, well, let's give them a chance. Let's sparingly hire them like they sparingly hire us. How many do we need to fit the quota for affirmative
Mhm.
action? 4. Okay, get 4 crackers in here, and we'll rotate them back and forth around till as long as we meet them. So they know what it feels like to be in an entire business, and it's nothing but people that don't look like you, and you just sitting there with the 4, and you like, is that's all? It's just us. Oh, okay. I just then I don't get them. I really don't get their sense of they have to have these things. It's like 1 minute you
Well,
tell us
they don't want you to have it.
right, but that's what I'm saying. 1 minute you tell us to pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps. The minute you go to pull yourself up by these
No, they
fake
want
ass
your boots.
bootstraps
They
with no
want your
boots,
boots.
you
That's what
want the
that shit
boots,
is.
right? You
Mhm.
want the boots. Like the fuck. If I'm just got enough to get the boots after not having boots for so long, now you want the boots because I have them. I just it's like make it make sense. Make it make sense. I really don't like, and it's Tennessee no less. Again, I'm not surprised. You talking about
I tell you, man, these flyover states
a
in
Confederate?
Florida, they are something else.
I said in somebody's I was on somebody's TikTok, and I was like, I wish we would stop vacationing at certain places. And he was like, well, what would that do? It'll stop bringing money to the state. That's why
Hmm.
the states do what they do, because they know people come and flock. Like Florida, you know, people come, they go into Disney World, they go into the beaches, they go into Miami. If you stop doing that and spending your money there and just say, you know what, for this summer, we're not even going to do that shit. We're going to go somewhere else. We're going to do something else. I don't give a goddamn if we go somewhere where ain't a beach in sight, but we're going to do something else. If they really started losing money and revenue that they know they would count on to make money for their state, they start rethinking a lot of shit they do. But because we just turn a blind eye and think, well, it ain't got nothing to do with me, I just vacation there. All right, you vacation there now. You
Yeah,
vacation there
you
now.
got to
You
remember
wait
too.
until
These states are vying for that money,
yeah, you
so
wait
so
until
it's
they
definitely competition.
right, you wait until they change up the game to where in which like now where they talking about voting rights, where Arizona, and I knew I put it in here because I read it, and where to go? Yeah, Arizona is now requiring voters to prove their citizenship in order to vote. Let that sink in. Your entire citizenship in order to vote. And this is something that they had tried to push throughout before,
Hmm.
and the judge kicked it out. And now, of course, another judge said, well, no, let's now revisit this. And this is all in retaliation to Trump losing.
Yeah,
And to
this
ensure
is what
that
happens when you pack the courts.
exactly. When you pack the courts, when you pack the legislation, when you pack all of that, this is what happens. They get to do, when they don't win, they get to run amok and do whatever they have to do to ensure that they will never lose again. And that part is not only disheartening, it's dangerous. It is dangerous. You have not only Arizona, but you have many of the other states looking at the same kind of outcome. You're looking at Kansas, you're looking at Alabama, Georgia, and who knows how many other states. are looking to have citizenship voting. I mean, they tried it with the license that you had to have an actual license to actually vote, knowing that a lot of people did not have
have a
either
license.
funds or they didn't have a license. So that would exclude some people there. And they quick to, well, it's not discriminatory. How is it not?
And it's mostly the older people that it
That's
ends up
it.
impacting.
That's it. That and people who, they may have a visa or whatever, and that's the part that really gets me too. A lot of them who do vote Republican because they're so quote unquote conservative, but you happen to be here not like legally, like maybe like your children or you kind of generationally gapped a little bit, so you just here on the whim. They coming for your vote. So even if you're voting for them, they're like, well, thank you for your vote, but we don't we don't necessarily. So it's just I don't know. I'm done with these people, really. I just find it to be really funny how I'm an advocate for voting, period, because I think that you should always vote. You should never let your power be silenced by anything. However, I think we need to really start paying attention to what is being done here and who it's targeting. We like to sit here and point the finger. Well, Biden's letting these gas prices go up. No, gas prices are going up because the people who are beholden to all of the gas is saying, hey, we're going to make money off all this shit, just like they've done in the pandemic, just like they've done in everything. Whenever a war is popping off, the first thing they go for is oil, because they know that, one, the countries in war are going to need it. And then you outside, you're just going to suffer just because you're, it's just part of the thing.
Yeah, but, and I own the store.
That's it.
So I'm raising my prices.
That's it.
It's not just oil.
Right. That's it.
All they had to do was say those magic words.
That's it.
There's a shortage.
Right. That's it.
And these motherfuckers run out.
They run
buy
out
up all the toilet paper.
That's it. Buy up all the toilet paper, buy up all of everything. And then it's like, well, what do you only have one ass. What are you doing with all the... And I mean, you may have a few asses in your household, granted, but I mean,
so you better tell them stop making mitts.
Like, you don't need, like, it's just, and it's excessive the way you would go out and get all this stuff. Like, you got people sitting up there complaining about gas prices, but these mofos are running up and down the Beltway, talking about they don't want to wear masks. Okay, but you're running up and down the Beltway with your Trump flags and your "Don't Tread on Me" treasonous snake whatever or Tea Party flags.
You get it right. Don't tread on me.
Yeah, don't tread on me, but it's got the snake serpent. It means something else.
Don't tread on me.
Yeah. But it's I can't think of it. It'll come to me later. But it's something to do with the early part of the militia movement that I was thinking of. But anyway, they run around the Beltway on this kind of kick, and it's like, okay, but you do know gas prices is high, so you've gone waste of your gas in your Ford F-150 complaining about a mandate of wearing a mask, yet gas is at probably about $5-6 depending on where you are close to it.
That's just don't be in California.
Does it
y'all gonna be riding bikes like in China with like they used to.
Like, ring. It makes no sense. It's like, what kind of battles are you picking? Because you look stupid. But again, they're so filled with all this like dumbass hate that they have that they don't even see it. They don't see it. Speaking of dumbass, go ahead.
Oh, now do you remember? I guess it was last year or maybe the latter part of 20, where the auto manufacturers said that they were going to stop selling mid-size and subcompact cars, and everybody was going to be driving, SUVs.
Yeah, because they felt like mid-size cars were not manly, and they were
them highest gas prices. That shit was. What do you need a subcompact
but people started, that whole Trumpian kind of macho kind of thing started to rear back, and it was like we can't these sissy cars. We need big cars, big
Yeah,
trucks.
big cars. Yeah, and it was hard to find anything. A mid, nice size sedan or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
You couldn't find it. Everything was a goddamn truck.
Right, right. But then now you're looking at
Looking
high
at the
gas
gas
prices,
prices,
and
you can't
now
afford
you
to
can't
drive that.
afford
You
to
be
fill your
parking that
right.
shit again.
You can't afford to fill up your big ass, your big ass showing off your, I guess, your non-having manly parts because you got a big truck. I mean, I just didn't.
You know that shit rust, right?
All of it rust.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
guess is some thing. I
Hey
don't know.
Rico, you gonna vote for Trump?
Yeah,
You might run.
yeah. Well, you go ahead and vote for him.
Look, it'd be the look. Listen,
I'm
listen.
listening. Go ahead.
It'd be the orange Cheeto and the and the pinky.
Speaking of orange,
You can run for the vice president.
oh Lord. Speaking of the orange Cheeto, yet again back at his old bullshit, asking Russia in the time of war to help him get dirt on Hunter Biden. Like, yo, when do you stop? Because nobody won't.
But nobody won't check his
Check
ass.
his ass.
That's why.
But that's the part that I feel like it's ridiculous.
And that's the problem. Nobody will check his ass,
That's
and he
not
will
even.
continue.
That's not even
Now he says it
ethical.
all the time.
Right. Anytime he's given the opportunity. So speaking of international and Vladimir Putin, on Thursday, he signed a decree ordering 134,500 conscripts, which are known as like troops or people to sign up to be part of his annual Russian annual spring draft. And these
spring
are
draft. Make it sound like you're going to a dance.
a dance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is for men the age of, I believe, it's 18 to 27.
18 to 27.
Yeah,
like
18 to 27.
But during the World War,
right? He's saying that he has
they'll go up
nothing.
to 60.
Right. He's saying that this has nothing to do with what's going on in Ukraine. However, people on the ground are saying, hell no, bitch, you lying. Then people are going to go through training and be sent right over there to Ukraine to fight. And a lot of people are not.
Yeah, because they were sitting in that article. They were sitting there lying, saying that they will tell them that they'll be sent to backfill. They'll be at some base or whatever, knowing damn well that they'll sending them off to war.
Right, doing training and all this kind of stuff. And
they didn't expect so much resistance.
No.
But you have to remember, it's like over in the Middle East when you talk about total warfare,
right,
where everything becomes a weapon.
Right. Yeah.
They were making Molotov cocktails when they had
rocks.
The weaponry. They had shotguns,
rocks. They were throwing anything. So I mean, it's just you don't underestimate the resilience of people, especially people when you're trying to come into what they have developed as their own and say, "Oh, it used to be ours. We want it back." I mean, that's just like, the Queen and them coming over here saying, you know what, now that we've built this relationship, we want to take America back. You think people are just gonna sit by and be like, okay, sure, let's partner up? Some people will, but a lot of people will be like, hell no, we're not doing this. So granted, on that spectrum, I get it. It's not my fight, yes, nonetheless, but and I see, one thing Biden tried to walk back, and now everybody's talking about it. Like, well, yeah, maybe he had a point. He's been the only president, talk about him how you may, has said that Putin needs to get the fuck out of here, which I mean, everybody else kind of danced around it. George W. Bush said he was a great guy. Obama didn't really say much. You could see that there was tension between them, but of course he's trying to not be the angry black man so the white people don't get scared. So he didn't really say too much.
Yeah, you can't have all of Europe frightened.
Right. That's right. Like, oh, they're about to go ham on us. And Trump, of course, adored the man and still does, and not even in office. So,
No, and that's another thing that they can do blatantly and out in the open. Just praise him, because you be a commie bastard.
That's right.
And
that's the part I don't get. Like, just years ago, people were put on lists as communists, and their whole careers were destroyed. for just the
and that's what you mean
lit,
by being blacklisted,
right, or being blackballed. Like
mm-hmm.
literally, people were, displaced just for the assumption that they were supporters of a communist nation or a communist dictator leader type. And the fact that he can walk around here always like, well, Vladimir Putin and a lot of his Republican followers will sit there and praise Putin because of his religious beliefs and his stance against the LGBTs and the media and all these other things, where he has killed and murdered people who stood against him, I think is absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that this knucklehead and his orange ass sitting up here talking about, well, the mayor of Moscow, how do you think they're able to have a mayor that is outside of the realm of the president that don't know what's going on is ridiculous to me. Like, this shit don't even make sense. As dictatorish as Vladimir Putin is, you think he would allow a mayor in the city of Moscow, no less, to actually have any kind of dealings with Hunter Biden? I'll wait. So the fact that he even says it is ridiculous, but I just...
God, just smite them.
Yeah, please hurry up. I mean, I'm not trying to rush God, but I just really goodness gracious. I am so tired of that man. Like, go away somewhere. I couldn't read the entire story of the student who won the $90,000 settlement for harassment, but I believe that was the wasn't that the black girl who
was a black
harassed?
girl. And I'm trying to remember what they, it's not even showing up on mine. It's probably one of those blacked out pictures.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what she was harassed for, I think.
For not standing up for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes. That's what it was.
So, all the white people in school lost their mind.
But they because of that. But that's what I don't understand. Again, you're the ones that took prayer out of school.
I'm glad they did. I never liked doing it anyway.
I mean, I know.
Well, I'm trying to think. We didn't do prayer. We did the pledge, though.
Yeah, but then it was okay. We don't have to necessarily say under God. All right, cool.
That's the only time I ever wanted to be Jehovah's Witness.
And it's like they always pick and choose what they want to battle, and especially when it comes to us, they can do other things, and then if we do them, it's like, how do you're going against this nation, this beautiful nation that's giving you a home and the blah 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 blah, and it's like, but they've caused so many atrocities at the same time to my people. Why would I want to? So I get it, and kudos to the young women on the win of the $90,000. Hopefully,
she had sued several people.
Yeah.
Because it was basically the schools. Yeah, the administrators, the school system. I think this one, the one that she's getting the money from, was actually the teacher.
Yeah,
but they made such a big deal because she didn't stand up.
Right. And literally tried to shame the girl for not standing up. Again, racist bullshit.
Yeah,
they can choose not to do stuff on the
national. No, they want you to stand up and pledge. Why they go and smear shit? Why they go smear shit on the walls?
Right. Even Trump himself don't even really. He just stands there. He doesn't really do the whole national anthem. He just stands there and looks around like, "Look at you guys," and then says, "Come on, sir. You're trash." And the people that are always jumping around to promote what somebody is doing, it's always
you're right, Patty.
Let's see. We talked about that. All right, so let's get into. I think.
Hey, Queen Diva, thank you for the super sticker.
Thank you. Appreciate.
I'm sorry we don't have a song for you.
Right, not yet.
You don't want us to sing yet.
No,
that'd be something you can work on. Record? No, not you singing.
Oh, no,
I'm not dumb.
I don't sing.
No, you do like a little pre-recorded.
Oh, thank you for the thing. No, it's more like, thank you for the super chat, Queen Diva. You gotta thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. But no, thank you. It's very much appreciated. All right, so I think that was it. Did I miss anything? I think I got everything that you had on the list.
Yeah, we did the draft. Just
Right.
think if we had a draft, end up having a draft here.
That's my thought. That's what I was thinking, that we might end up having a draft here. Trust and believe, if that Cheeto get back in, it's gonna be a draft. You can forget about voting because he will be president for like at least 8 years. And they'll make sure that
But it's like all this iffy stuff, and nobody ever completes anything. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, because they always do a long term. They always do something that lasts for 10 years or so. So it would still be implemented if the next president keeps it going. It's never nothing that's like, okay, right now, this is what we're going to do right now. Until then, it's always like, this is the 10-year plan. So we'll do a little bit now. And by 10 years, we'll be at a full. And it's like, who the hell knows if we're all going to be here by the time this shit really is taken into effect? Like, do it now. The same way I feel about them talking about goddamn reparations and shit. But anyway,
cut me a check.
That's it. And cut it now. Like how that song goes, it's my money and I want it now. JG Wentworth, get me my shit and I want it now. Period. All right. So let's get into this. Here we go.
Let's see him.
Hey, who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Who has been saying that? Who said that? Who said that? Hey.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. All right. So here we go into the great part of the show, which everybody seems to want to then pop in and be like, hey, who said that? This is where we talk about a lot of the entertainment stuff or anything that's going on here in YouTube or anywhere else in cyber world that is of entertainment and not necessarily news-ishness.
The shits.
And the giggles. All right. So first, let us talk about this Monique. Okay. And I'm gonna say it because I'm tired of the elephant in the room and nobody's really talking about the shits. Her husband fucked that shit up for her. Okay?
Daddy did it.
Her husband wanted to get paid to do all the extra for the show, for the movie. Her husband pushed that agenda and they said, fuck no. Other stuff happened, unfortunately. Yes, it did happen. But her husband was the catalyst to that shit. Nobody won't talk about that. They just act like it was Monique and they did Monique dirty. No, the reality is her husband thought he had big balls and they showed him just how big his balls were. Okay?
Daddy has big balls.
Then she had to go save face and try to clean the shit up. But the reality is her husband fucked that shit up. And I don't care what nobody say. That's my thought and I'm sticking to it. So basically, Lee Daniels finally took his gay ass on stage and apologized to Monique and was so extra like with it. Instead of just apologizing and keeping it moving, you my friend. We was best friends, girl. And then cut the shit. Like, you allowed all this to happen, even you going on Larry King and basically saying, yeah, well, people were saying, you know, XYZ about her, that she was saying all this shit. I was just like, well, I mean, you was in with the shits as long as, you know, Oprah and Tyler was, you know, in cahoots with it. You was in with the shits.
Everything was perfectly fine.
Right. You knew that's where the money was coming from. So you was with it. Now that it's been years, and people are starting to really, you know, question people's integrity and all that kind of stuff. Now it's something we want to make a change. So I don't really understand that some people said that because 50 Cent said he gonna start working with her. Now people starting to look what, but I'm like, okay.
But why now? It's been over 10 years, about 13 years. Now all of a sudden you want to start working with her.
This is what I'm saying. Like, what happened to before? Like when she was first being ostracized, you didn't want to work with her then. So why now? You know, I don't know. For me, it's like the truth of the matter is, yeah, Daddy fucked that shit up. Daddy's whatever the fuck his name is, whatever she call him, old
Daddy.
Old swing dick, fuck that shit up. And he needs to come clean and apologize and be like to her, listen, I'm sorry, I fucked that up. And moving forward, I won't be so, I can be your manager, but I won't be so, I'm doing this for you. No, you was doing that shit for yourself.
You should never fuck the manager.
Okay. Learn from
you
Mary
should
J.
never,
Blige. Never fuck your manager, because your manager will fuck you.
Never fuck the manager.
Your manager will fuck you in the end. Trust and believe. She can tell you right now, she's still paying alimony payments and almost child support to a motherfucker. And a lot of the motherfuckers can tell you the same thing. Don't fuck your manager. Don't do it. It does not work. Lee Daniels is up to something besides needing to replace Octavia Spencer. Yeah. I mean, he is up to something, of course, but he is up to something. Either they doing a Precious 2, or they doing some shit and they need her.
More Precious, sir.
Right. Precious got off stamps. Whatever it is, whatever the sequel is.
Where are they now? Pretty much.
Right.
Hey, Lemon, how you doing? Bing bong. Yeah.
Bing bong. What's up, Lemon? Nice to see you, sir. Yeah. His name is Sydney. Yeah, his name is fucking Sydney. Sydney fucked that shit up.
Daddy. That I hate that. I hate to hear women say that. Say daddy.
Right.
It just gives me that creepy.
But if you're gonna say it, right? If you're gonna say it, leave that for the bedroom. Do not be public.
Don't even say that to me in the bed. No, don't even say daddy. No, it's just like no. No.
Makes you feel creepy.
It's creepy. I'm like, I'm gonna go turn my own self in. It is. It feels just nasty and filthy.
Bing bong.
Yeah, bing bong.
Yeah, but you was definitely giving the work. You had me dying, Lemon. I said, okay.
You gonna do a Lemon live? Can you just lay them out? Because it is classic.
I don't know why they come for certain people. Like, yo, just let it be. Don't think everybody is just a pushover just because they ain't hollering and screaming and
screaming. See, that's what it is. You're not out here howling, and your voice isn't 5 octaves, octaves higher.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm not, but it's like once you give it to him, then it's like, oh, did you hear what he said? He was right on the money. Yeah, that's right. Because it's like people get tired of your shit. Like people really get tired of your shit. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Daddy, you're not going to call your husband daddy. Daddy. Ooh, I hate that.
He fucked that shit up. That fucking Sydney fucked that shit up, and he should be demoted as manager. He should just be the husband and point blank period. If she wants to put him on payroll to do whatever, to
carry the bags,
snacks and shit in the room, put him on payroll.
Make sure the beds, the bedroom, the hotel rooms are straight and all the rest of that.
But he fucked that shit up.
Yeah, he messed her up for a long time.
He did. And I'm granted, Oprah and all of them played a part in their shit, but trust and believe that husband was the catalyst.
But then too, Lee Daniels has had has had things happen and said in the past from other people, as far as his business dealings. So it wasn't really surprising. The only good thing about
with Dame Dash was about the fuck.
He about to fuck him up.
What was it? $2 million he had borrowed from Dame Dash. Yeah, so he was
snack boy. Ain't nothing.
Yes,
Lynn.
There's
pride. There's pride in all work.
Right. That's it. Talking about. Wait a minute, baby. Let me taste your tea.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck made this shit? This shit is not hot enough. She needs hot tea. Fuck. Can't get good help around here. And that's what you do. And be prideful in that. I mean, you get a check. Not only that, it goes back into the relationship. So what does it matter? People are just ridiculous. Like it really should not matter. But I don't know. But still, he fucked that shit up. And I don't care what nobody say. I could give a goddamn. I don't have Monique money. She all right. She, she may have hurt a little bit, but she ain't hurt. And she needs to get up out her ass and know that her husband fucked your shit up. So at least you need to check him or have a conversation with him.
That's why they had that's why they had that podcast.
Or you need to divorce his ass, okay? Because it ain't.
No, she just need to keep him out of her money.
It ain't.
Cut him an allowance. And then let him be the snack boy. and get proud of that.
Yeah, I don't know.
He
Let me tell you,
he was ready to work. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think he's working on something anyway.
But you know what? Too, I'm hearing. Check out T.S. Madison. She did an interview with. She did the one with Monique,
right,
which was about a month or so ago, and then she also did one with Lee Daniels, and and this whole meeting was supposed to stem from that. Now, this one, I believe, is supposed to come on tomorrow night.
Oh, okay, I'll check.
So, because everybody thought it was 50 Cent that pushed the idea,
right?
But it was actually T.S. Madison. I guess she put the bug in his ear.
When she drives Maddie mending relationships. Look at here. She went from TV. Now she about to be Oprah.
He didn't fill out a job application.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to. Amanda, what that work say? Amanda don't work, don't live, or don't eat, or don't something. He need to be doing something. Instead of fucking up her money, let her money be her money. And if you're trying to do a management business or whatever, and I think that's what he was trying to do. He was like, oh, if I get her business going, making her a whole bunch of money, I'm gonna start branching out, have other clients.
No, he should have experimented on somebody else that was less known.
Thank you. That's it.
You don't fuck up the bank.
Like, who fucks up the bank like that? And then you sitting up here, got everybody talking about they did Monique wrong. Now, granted, what Netflix did is some bullshit. But again, Netflix is white folks. We don't walk into, again, we walking into spaces that has nothing to do with us.
They actually don't have a black division.
They don't have a black division. They don't know nothing about nothing that don't cross-pollinate into their realm. Like, Dave Chappelle pollinates in their realm thanks to Comedy Central. Black folk watch Comedy Central.
Plus, who he appeals to anyway.
So Chris Rock,
that's who he appeals to.
Of course, they're going to get those big contracts. Wanda Sykes thought she did because she pollinated a little bit, but she don't pollinate enough to get that type of money. Unfortunately, she just doesn't. I mean, sometimes marrying white works, sometimes it don't. I mean, pack your baguettes and keep it moving. I don't know what to tell you, girl. But sometimes marrying white works, sometimes it don't. It just, count. How Miss One say that? Count your blessings and cut your losses. So I don't know what to tell her. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, I don't know. But anyway, moving right along. About that whole Sir King thing, and they talking about Rita, who's in your neighborhood.
Oh Lord. I am so fucking scared that one day somebody's going to walk up to me and say, I know you from somewhere. Yeah. I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah, me too a little bit. But
I'm so fucking grumpy when I'm out in public, they wouldn't know my phone.
I'm glad I'm far. I'm glad. I said I'm glad I'm far though, so I don't have to worry about that. But I do worry when I go into the cities that I'm like, oh God, it hit me.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah, it is. It is. It really is. Because I really don't. My nieces did that to me one time in Walmart, and I was like, because they were like way back, and all I I said, oh shit, and I turned around, I was like, stop playing, like don't do that, because the New Yorker in me does not know.
They better hope that I'm having a good day mentally.
Yeah,
because I walk out the house sometimes I'm sideways.
Right, because I'll be like, what? And then it probably got a snap in me like, oh no, they don't mean that. I'm like, oh hi, like he was like kind of sharp with me at first. Yeah, don't
you just don't know.
Yeah. So basically she was saying, listening to another content creator, I think it was the Nola Rat, as they call him, Raccoon or whatever they call him, basically saying that Sir King was stealing people's credit card information, which of course, I mean, Granted, it runs through Google, so how someone can steal somebody's credit card information, that would make Google itself liable on a whole bunch of levels.
This is when you need to think.
Yeah, right. Put two and two together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really doesn't even make any sense. The stuff that people are allowed to say, not, allowed to say, but just say out of their mouths without somebody even in the chat going, well, you can't even do that. Really,
yeah, that's not how it works.
Yeah, right.
That's all you have to say. That's not how it works.
Common, just straight, not kissing no ass, not, anything like that. It's just, that's really not how it works. Like, so why would you even say that? You could say a whole bunch of other things, but why would you say that? When people are just sometimes envious of what people get. And that really makes no sense. Do your own thing. Whatever people give you, let them give it to you. But you can't be checking somebody else's pockets and then get upset because of what they're getting and what you're not getting. Then step your game up. Step your pussy up. You got enough time. You don't do shit anyway. You a daycare dad, so fuck, you got time. I really don't I don't get it.
Daycare dad.
Huh?
You said daycare dad?
Yeah, any daddy daycare?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's like,
so it just didn't work.
I mean, he don't.
You got to do something. He might.
But I'm saying, but if you have the time to do what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, step your game up. Stop checking somebody else's pocket. I'm not worried about what other people's numbers get and what they get into their chat. Whatever they get, that's their business, and it's good for them. What I get is for me. And can't nobody take that from me. And when you get to that level of self, you'll understand that. But when you're so concerned about what the next person is doing, especially another man, when you are straight as an arrow, right? And you so concerned about what another man is doing, that's when you start to have a little bit of a problem. I'll be checking for some pussy before I'll be checking for what another man is doing if I was him. But I'm just saying, that's just me.
Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can like what you like, and I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying,
ladies, just be careful. There's a lot of pretenders out there.
It is. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. It's a lot of homosexuals.
Hobo. Yeah, where's that? She must be asleep.
It's a lot of homosexuals out here that will do anything for a roof. And some meals.
Well, it's starting to get warm, so they kind of stirring up.
Branching out now. They kind of branching out till it gets cold.
Okay. Until the end of the year and the first freeze, right.
And the weather starts to change again. I just find it to be a bit ridiculous. Like, come on, y'all. We need to be adults. We need to grow the fuck up, and everything is not for shock value or just to be trending at the moment. Some things you really want to take into account that would be like scandalous on so many levels. I mean, I can't even find the words. Like, it's just like, why would you even say, that? You can talk about anything. You can talk about how he may possibly look. You may talk about other things, but to talk that the man is stealing credit cards from people that he really cannot do, come on, you're reaching. And so I applaud Lemon, especially Lemon.
Yeah, bullshit.
Lemon went in with the whole thing, but definitely, because everybody's not a pushover. You know what I'm saying? Just because people don't, bark when you think they're gonna bark or tell them to bark, does not mean that they won't give you the business. You could get the business at any time. I can nicely change this. Shift up real quick and be like, for those of you who don't, like me to get that way, you can come back next week. But today, these motherfuckers is going to get the business. But, again, there's somebody's choice. And know that everybody has it in them to be like, enough's enough. And that's just that on that. So that's all I got to say about that. What are we going to talk about? The Will Smith biopic being canceled? No, I'm not going to talk about that because it's always the same thing. When we do something or when we quote unquote step out of the the guise or act the expectations of whiteness, how we should conduct ourselves, we are then always bombarded and degraded. Yet these mofos can walk around and do whatever, and it's not even talked about. Like when Jim Carrey talked about how he should have been canceled and he should take the Oscar away from him, when he went right up on stage and kissed Alicia Silverstone in the mouth. Just went up there and started kissing her in the mouth, and nobody batted an eyelash. Everybody thought it was funny.
Yeah, but
and
not only
weird.
that, his girlfriend committed suicide. He was abusive. He got her hooked up on cocaine. He's given her numerous STDs and UTIs and LMNOPs.
But he's so funny.
When it comes to things
And
like that, especially
one of the highest paid comedian actors in Hollywood.
With what, they could go ahead and the studios can go ahead and cancel his biopic. He has enough influence and money. He can do it. He can do it himself.
He has his own studio, so I mean,
it'll be a nice project while he's healing.
Yeah, he has his own production company, so they can really do it themselves. They don't need.
And not only that, he could go to Tyler Perry, be right next door to Medea,
and he can do it in Will Smith Studios because he has his own. He has his own thing named after him, so I'm sure Tyler wouldn't mind letting him use it.
Now, see, this is when you have an ultimatum. When you have your own,
that's it.
It doesn't have to be exactly like theirs,
right?
You can have your own.
Part of me in the conspiracy theory world that I think of slightly sometimes thinks that this was all a thing to actually push them out of that Hollywood realm so they can create their own.
Yeah. And I don't think he should be canceled. For what?
Yeah, I mean, really don't. I mean, I watched Ellen, who had nerve. I was like, "The fuck you talking about?"
What?
I'm still traumatized, bitch. You know how many people came out and talked about how treacherous you are?
How are you traumatized? I mean, how many times you get hecklers in the audience?
This is what I'm saying.
When you're a comedian, and when you're shit, the guy just ran up on stage and wanted to shoot Mike Tyson. He was at a comedy club, so all of a sudden everybody's all lily and pure white or whatever,
right?
Type of thing,
right. He's right, Patty Duke. You're absolutely right. He's too big to be canceled. Like y'all say that shit to little folks,
and pretty much neither one of them.
Right.
There shouldn't be anything else. What's done is done.
Right.
You have pedophiles. I keep hearing too that they're talking about.
You've got convicted rapists and God knows what else with Oscars, with all kinds of awards.
You got Woody Allen.
He
married his own adopted daughter. How nasty is that? He nasty.
You got Harvey Weinstein still
got Harvey Weinstein
acclamations. You got what's his name? Kevin Spacey still got shit, even though you took him out of House of Cards, and the House of Cards ain't been the same.
I know it was done. I turned. Well, by then we were getting into the Trumpism. That shit was scary enough.
Anyway, because he was already pushing it.
But you have so many people who have done so much, and even
Roman Polanski.
Another child molester.
Yeah,
you have John. You had John Wayne, who was a racist. Out racist, even out in magazines and on film, spewing his
hatred. I know what you meant.
I'm glad you did, because I didn't. But anyway, but yeah, you had him doing that, and not only that, it's built like that. The Oscars is built like that. That's why you only get a couple of people of color.
That's it. Sprinkles. Why Hattie McDaniels had to actually accept her award in the goddamn kitchen.
So and that's why we don't watch. It was probably the
right.
Did they say what the numbers were?
They probably did, but I haven't read it, and I'm sure they were big, especially around.
But that was only because of after the fact.
Yeah,
because nobody was watching it. They only flipped
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I don't even think it came on then, but it was just to that point when all that interaction went on.
And most of the stuff, to be honest with you, the international news was playing it more because they were really watching it play by play. The American stations kind of, cut it out as if it was too violent to show on TV. Ridiculous.
No, not as violent as we are.
Right.
Not as violent as we are.
Right.
You can slam a demented old woman. You can slam her in the ground and break her arm.
Right.
Nobody bats bats an eye at that.
You can definitely be an officer and slam an elderly man to crack open his head, bleed, and nothing happened. Yet, other things get, I don't know. It's just disgusting.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Remember the streak? Remember they had a streak on there too. I remember that one.
The streak.
That was that was before the 5-second delay. It was a British actor that was given the award. I can't remember his name, but you see him in a lot of shit. And the guy walked right in the back. He was butt naked. Walked right in the back and walked, kind of across the stage, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean they always doing.
I mean, because that was shit, like I said, that was before the 5-second delay or 7-second delay.
So sophisticated and well, like what we need to stop doing. I know I posted it on my Instagram story, but stop equating or trying to equate our behavior to whiteness. We are not white. Like, stop doing that.
Well, that's because we feel as though we're inferior. That's the goal, the goalpost.
Right. Like, we need to really cut that shit out. That shit is to the detriment of our own people. Like, just be you. However you act is how you conduct yourself. Just make sure you conduct yourself with integrity and respect, or whatever it is that you hold dear to yourself. And forget this, kind of living up to this motif. It's the same thing even with hair. You can't have locks, and you got to have low Caesar haircuts. Who said so? Who the fuck said so? Because they don't like it, because it doesn't look good, because they can't grow it. That's not my problem. Not my problem. As long as I keep it neat for me, I could give a goddamn. If you don't like it, no problem. Next, I'll move on to the next employee.
You know what they probably said when all that shit went down? It was like, shh, not in front of the white people.
Right. Shh, don't do it. White people gonna think some type of way. Fuck how they think. And that's just how I feel on that. I'm so tired of us trying to, pander to them when it's like the Democrats. We act like Democrats act towards Republicans. We're always pandering to the Republicans who don't give a shit at the end of the day. And not all, but majority of them really don't give a shit. So it's like you sitting there pandering to people that really don't give a shit about you either way. So what's the point? What is the point? Speaking of the point, did you see the video of listen, y'all, we need to get ourselves the fuck together. The dumb shit that we do is ridiculous. This young man.
About you too?
The dude that too, but the dude that died in the club, I think he's Maryland. Something happened. He got killed either in the club or outside the club, but they wind up having his funeral or his viewing in the club, and he was propped up like he was giving a performance in the club, dead. That's how everybody was viewing him. His whole wake was in the club. He was standing up on stage, propped up on stage, and people. And I'm just like,
that is so fucking morbid, man.
Yeah, I mean, shades on and everything, just looking down.
I thought that shit only happened down south.
No, I mean
where they know how to cook chitlins and shit.
The things I just don't understand, like the amount of money that you spent on some dumb shit like that, instead of putting it in some kind of educational fund for maybe the kids.
Did he have sunglasses on?
Like, yeah, sunglasses. Like, what the fuck is he looking at? Not a goddamn thing. He dead. Like, I really just didn't understand.
I just thought that was some real morbid, because I've seen them do
people standing up in the corner in their house just chilling. Like, I mean, people sitting in their favorite recliner,
playing cards or whatever, and
favorite recliner, or just sitting there. Which I think all of it is very weird.
It's
traumatizing. Scary. But nonetheless, I just it was just like, the things you spend your money on.
Mm.
And then what kills me is, and I don't know this for sure, but my thought was, if they did a GoFundMe for this shit, that's the saddest
Yeah,
shit.
that seems to be the thing now.
Yeah,
People don't have insurance. They'll do a GoFundMe,
but that's the saddest shit.
time.
You'll do some kind of club celebration, right, with the body sitting up in there looking like it's selling something as a mannequin, but you won't set up a fund for the children of this young man to actually further their education, so they won't end up like their father. But we'll spend all this money on some bullshit of propping a dead man who's gone.
I want to know how they kept him from leaking.
I don't know. Good question. Well, you know, they put the diapers and all the other stuff, and they put you in a little plastic garment thing, so you won't have. So if you do have leakage, it just goes into
that.
Yeah, it's
all
like
kinds of
yeah.
fruit
It's like
juices.
it's like Missy Elliott with the
in that balloon bag.
in the balloon bag. That's really what you have under the clothes that they drape on you. So yeah. So your stuff don't go. But I mean, it's just really like ridiculous. Get the fuck out of here. Well, the Crown Act was signed, so dreads are
that was signed the day before that whole thing with Will and Jada.
It was, however, it's still an issue because you still have places where kids are not allowed to graduate, walk across the stage because they have locks. So I'm sorry, Catherine, but that's it's not true for every state. And again,
not only that, you have certain companies that have
they have their own policies,
their policies and dress codes, and they will fight you to the end on
That's it. Because
if you're willing to put up a fight, good fight for it.
Right. And because again, as a private company, you can make your own, just like many states do. People understand that a state can make up their own kind of workaround to a federal law. They may have to deal with going back and forth to court to people who stand up against it. But of course, if you don't know the law and how to fight up against it, will you do it? So that's and a lot of times people get away with stuff like that. So granted, the Crown Act may be passed, but that don't mean that people don't still enact in it, because again, we're still dealing with, there's a high school graduate right now that is petitioning walking across the stage because they want him to cut his locks. When I've been to plenty of graduations and participated in many with white folks with their hair looking a goddamn mess.
A hot ass look like they just rolled out of bed.
Not a goddamn thing. They get to put the cap on and walk across the stage without a problem. Hair looking dirty as shit, like they never washed it.
That on dirty ass jeans.
They're being themselves. Bitch, you about to okay. All right, great. Yeah. So the lady was dead sitting at the table, was creepy.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that was real. And they all have sunglasses on and they all have that kind of like a scowl.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just really ridiculous. Like I just feel like the amount of money that people spend
your money on something else.
Yeah, please do. Let's talk about.
Granted, it would have been easier for them just to put a little disco ball or some shit in the casket.
Yeah, you
don't have to have him propped up.
Propped up for what?
Suppose somebody tipped him over.
What if he just fell over? I mean, granted, he was some distance away from the crowd, I guess, just in case he did tip over, but that's just too much.
What do you do? Wire him up?
Yeah, pretty much.
This is how I know we going to hell in a
handbasket. Right. It's like the amount of money that cost. When you have, when I'm sure their children
could have paid a bill or a mortgage or something, but
set up a
money
home,
in that money in the kids' college fund
or something, or not even if they didn't want to go to college, some kind of
trade school,
education trade school, something, instead of just putting it in needless nonsense. Like he don't see none of this, and if he does see it, I mean.
Body shots.
Right. Everybody taking body shots all night. And they probably serving alcohol, which started the shit in the first place. So
and motherfuckers get to fight though. That's when all that dumb
fighting and
shit
drunk,
come up.
right.
Now see, that's what Will should have been when he slapped him, okay? Because that's the setting for it.
Now Will was probably already drunk when he slapped his ass. He probably had some already. He was already fired up. He was like, somebody say some shit about Jada or some shit about her and her entanglement. I'm slapping the first motherfucker that say anything. And he just happened to be the first motherfucker to say it. That's all. That's all. Sorry. But yeah, you just happened to be the first one. But yeah, please, we need to find a better way to spend our money, people.
Yeah, please think.
Because they will use
wisely.
Trust and believe. They use that argument right there to why reparations has been such a thing.
Look at them. Look at them.
They're gonna start propping each other up in the club and be dead and be talking about pour some out for the homies.
Yes. And that's exactly how they would sound. Pour one out for the homies.
That's it. Pour some out for the homies. So what I need us all to do is take that famous line from Dave Chappelle on the Chappelle Show when they was giving out reparations. Hide your money, bitches. There are poor people around. And we just need to, kind of hold on to our money. Hold on to it. Hold on to it. Hold on to it.
Jada, what has Jada done to you? I tell you, that whole thing just gave me that whole Dave Chappelle, and what's the guy's name? The black guy,
Charlie Murphy.
No, not Charlie Murphy. The Wayne Brady. It just gave me that whole feel.
Yeah, them things. But yeah, that's that on that.
Jada don't love him. She's the puppeteer and he's the puppet. That's all that is.
Truth be told, Jada really loves Tupac. That's who she really loves. But because
she could have dug up and propped up now.
Oh Lord. No, I don't think she wants that.
You know what? They could take a mold and she'll have him forever.
They can do a clone. Yeah, they could do a Tupac clone. And
but they can't grow it up that fast. She would be an old woman on that little boy.
Well, if they can do it like the Fifth Element, just put him in the thing and zoop, 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 and bam, he'd be popped out ready to go.
I don't think we're there yet. We are to the cloning, but I don't think we do be shooping the shooping.
Right. And be fully acclimated. But yeah, I really think Jada
she'd be satisfied with a dick mold.
You know what? I'm not even going. All right. So on to people calling QB the next Martin Luther King when he was upset about people not talking about the young man who was on the ride and
he's back
off and on, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Comes and goes. But he was talking about the young man.
Can't stay away. It's like crack.
Well,
how many people I done heard in the last few weeks?
But I guess you come back. I guess you come back, but you don't talk about the same stuff that you used to talk about. I guess that's what makes it different. Yeah. So I guess that's what makes it different to some. So he was talking about the young man who died, who fell to his death on the free fall ride in Orlando.
Oh yeah.
Because he wasn't strapped in fully. Now, of course, there has been talk that the young man weighed more than the weight capacity. So I'm trying to figure out if he was more than the weight capacity, why the fuck did y'all let him on the ride in the first place?
And for the fact that he had been, turned away, rejected from other rides that had a weight and height limit.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't.
Yeah, because he was 13 or 14, but he was like 6'5". He was a real big guy.
Big guy, yeah. Yeah, but that was
that was operator error.
Yeah. So the family is looking to sue. Of course, poor us. Here we go again. Always doing some crack thievery shit. This young woman who claimed to be a cousin of the young man who
they come out.
Was doing a GoFundMe.
Like real roaches, okay.
Was doing a GoFundMe who worked as a bottle girl or something for one of the clubs has the club has fired her or terminated her.
You think they were probably mad? They were probably mad because they the head up for some money if she got away with that scam.
Right,
You know how that shit go.
Yeah, truly. So there have been no criminal charges, of course, filed against the woman because it's not really criminal.
Well,
if she's collected any money, then they can. But so far, they don't know if she's collected any funds by saying that she is related to.
Oh, they should be able to tell.
Yeah, I mean they should, and I'm sure they will pretty soon. But as of right now, from what I gathered, they haven't pressed charges on her. But if they do find out that she has collected any funds due to the tragedy, she will face charges.
I tell you, there's always some leech whenever there's a tragedy that pops up.
And it's sad. It's sad. It really is sad.
There's another scam too, paying your taxes with gift cards. I happened to catch that out the corner of my eye this morning.
What?
Paying your taxes with gift cards.
Yeah, right.
Now I did my taxes. It was horrible. It was just blood everywhere.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it is actually the worst. And then I had to remember that it was because of the tax cuts. This is what's happening now.
I felt like Dovey everywhere. Blood on the windows, blood on the wall, blood. And them bitches ain't even tell me that I owed until it was time for them to give me my money. Then it was like, oh well, that didn't come to you because of this. It's like, okay.
I've never had one. We've never had one like this before. It was terrible. It was terrible. I was like.
It was like, oh, you got that stimulus? Hope it was nice. Give me that back.
Yeah, because that's the first thing I said. I was like, well, goddamn, they took that shit.
They sure did. They sure did. So those of you who were able to get your stimulus and still keep your refund, congratulations to you. But us others, the fuck you didn't.
I'll put it like this. We'll all be bottoms this time.
There's a lot of bottoms out here. Hide your kids.
And remember,
raping. You better.
If you're not getting drilled out or pegged, like I said, I ain't gonna let nobody peg, man. I ain't gonna give you the key. I ain't gonna give you the keys to the car, and you don't know how to drive.
No, but they is out here. They's out here raw dogging folks. It's not cute.
Running a train. Cute. I ain't talking about two people. Where the hell they get two people? They call it a train. No, that's not called a train. Right. The train is when there's multiple, right behind,
back to back.
Just you just don't know what to do. They just coming from everywhere. There's no need for you to turn around and look because you know there's just going to be another dick in your ass.
You can't even move. Are you moving to Mexico?
You just say, please, just spit on it. Something.
Right, do something.
You say you moving to Mexico.
Put some crypto on it. Do something.
God damn.
Talk to me nice. Do something.
I've never been violated like that before.
Never. I mean, usually.
Like I said, I kept thinking, I was like, why? I was like, oh, them fucking rich ass white people.
Yeah, that's
got their goddamn tax break. And it's supposed to be like that until what? 27?
A good chunk of time. If this president or somebody before him don't
I'm going to get me a butt plug because goddamn, my ass ain't hurt after that one.
Yeah, because we the ones that wind up paying for all those,
end up
those tax cuts and all that kind of stuff. We get stuck with the bill. That's the part that I don't understand. People are, Trump did a lot. He cut back on taxes. Yeah, but bitch, who's paying for the bill? You gotta understand the bill is due. The bill comes up. So all that surplus, that's why you was getting those stimulus checks because they had surplus from when they did the tax cut. But now the bill is due. So it's like, you see, Biden wasn't talking about giving no more stimulus checks because they ain't much to give out. I mean, other than if you cut some programs, which of course they did to give.
Shit, they ain't got shit to cut.
They ain't shit moving to really cut anything.
Be prepared, Patty.
Lord,
might have to use some of that Duke's moisturizer. God, that motherfucker hurt.
I just be like, I guess I need to start chewing on some coconut oil, just make it work its way down.
Just go ahead and
I
prelude.
said, my God, goodness gracious,
just prelude.
I said,
because definitely a fucking is a coming.
Yeah, I thought I was just gonna drop like, I could drop this on the vacation of like, bam, I don't have to worry about that. I was like, well, nope. It looks like I'm paying the vacation just the regular old way.
You better, because that's it. Because I was looking for a little bit of something.
Yeah, I was too.
A whole lot of nothing.
That's it. Well,
and nothing.
Literally, right? everywhere.
Picasso paintings on the wall. Don't go in there with no black light.
Right.
It's all a glowing though. Everywhere.
Watch your step. Please watch your step. Don't slip.
Better go get a hazmat suit.
Right. Please.
It's carnage everywhere.
They is locked and loaded. Mm-hmm.
You tell me who isn't getting
and not
a
to
refund.
mention it's only the 5th and it's 10 more days to file. So
they didn't extend it this year.
Yeah, they they probably will towards the but they have extended the student loans till August. All right, bitch, you could have did that. I paid mine off already. Now you want to extend and do shit and all that kind of shit. But thank God I was blessed enough to pay it off. But
yeah, if you're lucky enough to get a little infusion, reduce your debt. That's the only thing I can say nowadays is just make sure that you don't carry any debt going into, especially as you get older.
Right.
Because
it's hell trying to maneuver.
And you still paying. That's why I never understood when people retired, they'd go and buy a house. I think that's the most stupidest idea. I said, you're out of your earning years.
Right.
Why would you, and that's eating into your, unless you plan on leaving the earth, in a couple of years.
Refinances. Well, a lot of people are doing that, following the Magnum PI's advice. You can barely breathe.
No, if you get a chunk of money, all that little dumb stuff. Well, I don't see too many people buying cars like after 5 years like they used to. Spending $10,000 on a vehicle that depreciates as soon as you drive off the lot, or somebody can destroy, running up in the back of you.
Right.
Just be kind of wise on the money and what you're spending it on, things that you can't pass down.
Right. Yeah.
Why spend $40,000 on a vehicle? That's stupid.
Right. That is true.
Especially if you don't have a garage. Little motherfuckers be bouncing balls off your shit. Wonder why you hanging out the window. And it's real funny when those same little motherfuckers grow up. And I laugh at them.
Mm-hmm.
I said, now you know why I used to scream at you, right?
My father would come down in a heartbeat. Get your goddamn friends away from my goddamn car.
Because they lounge. They would lounge. They put their coats out and lay all across the fucking hood of the car.
Well, leaning on it would be the thing.
It's like, shit, I got 3 more years on this bitch. You tearing it up for me and it's sitting in front of my house.
Right.
That'll some drunk driver plow into you, then it's total. You got to start all over again. Oh my gosh. What's that one thing?
Yep, my sit on look good for you. Yeah, I paid the house off before I retired. Buy a house in Hawaii. Yeah, I know that's right. What'd you say? Oh, okay.
Then all you have to worry about is the taxes.
Yeah, that's it. And please pay your taxes. Lord have mercy. Don't let them take it.
That's how my grandmother cleaned up. She
really
back in the day.
Nice.
People didn't pay their taxes. She'd go on down there, and it looked because she had so many at one point. It reminded me of Monopoly. I was like, "How are you getting all this shit?" I was like, "Damn, I know you've been married 3 times, and I know I didn't think they all had any money." And I can't ever remember you working anywhere. Well, no, she did. She was a midwife, and so she was just always home. And it just at that time I didn't know what the difference was. It's like I just figured you was home.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she was a midwife. But damn, people couldn't pay. I mean, it was like always little stuff.
Right.
Or what would happen is the parent would die,
Mm-hmm.
and the kids would let the money go for taxes because they didn't know any
Because
better.
they didn't know any better, right?
And here where we are, they could snatch your house if you didn't pay your water bill.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I've learned that. I've learned that. My sister has a few properties, and like, what? I mean, for a little or nothing, like
Yeah, and that's
$200, $400, they will they will grab
that it was back on, and the old billing system wouldn't show that you were behind. So, say mama dies,
right,
and the son has the house, and he's thinking that he's all caught up, and they would not send any delinquency notices. And they would, they would do that kind of thing, and people were just falling through the loopholes. But yet, you had corporations that owed thousands and thousands of dollars in back water bills, and they hadn't paid anything. So they had stopped doing that. I was glad because so many people were losing homes for just hundreds of dollars.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
Let me see my head. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely try to reduce your debt as you get older.
Right.
Go into your retirement, or even if you get sick, it's always good that you don't have anything really pressing hanging over you. Because shit ain't like they won't get it anyway. I just come to that assumption later. I was like, you can't get blood from a stone.
Right. Yeah, that part is true.
So, yeah, it was cold blooded.
Yeah, well, that's what they do, unfortunately. Let's see. Any other news or anything else to talk about? Not that I can think of anything.
Okay. Movies. Has anybody seen Master with on Amazon?
No.
Okay.
I haven't seen Master yet.
Don't watch it.
Oh Lord. Is it gonna make you angry?
No, I just didn't understand it because it was. I guess it was in the editing. It's just it was so choppy that it was hard to follow what was actually going on. Was it something supernatural, or was it just the environment? That type of thing. And it just, I wasn't going to watch it again.
I did watch the it's a murder mystery. The Murder in the Orient is the second one. The Nile, I think it was I forgot the name of the complete name, but it's a remake of an older movie.
Okay.
It was pretty good. It wasn't bad. The woman who played the Black Panther sister, she's in it. So the black actress, it was pretty good.
I hope she got her shots. They were, because she wasn't going to work. Now see, I was thinking that shit then.
Right.
She was holding up production.
Right.
Yo, we could put a mask on you.
I think she probably was doing other films, to be honest.
But they usually cut out time for that.
She was doing other work. Yeah, maybe they do, but then sometimes maybe she might have already signed on to a project and then that superseded because she had already signed that one beforehand, and it just probably got caught up. So I don't know, but I don't know. So that was pretty good. The From, I've watched that. Episode 7, I'm watching 8 now, but episode 7 was so good. It was like, yo, that is crazy. But I knew that. I was like, you honky donk. Why would you do that? Why would you open that goddamn window? Like,
because of his dick. That's all it was. Call it like it is. But as much as they were screwing in that house,
but this is what I'm saying.
They had no shame to. Well, you know what? Too a lot of them women were older. They were
a lot of them were older, but then because nobody wanted him, you know what I'm saying, and that's why he felt so lonely because nobody wanted him. But it's just like, if you don't get your act together and push up on something, the fuck would you be doing? Like, it's just crazy. But yeah, that's what he deserved. She bit his tongue off, spit that joint out, and was like, yeah, about that. Hey, what's going on, Tracy's World? How are you?
Yeah.
Don't trust Lee Daniels. I think who does? Who does trust Lee Daniels?
Well, you really can't. It's the business, and you
It's the
really can't
business,
be
right?
100%
With
trusting.
anybody. Yeah, no, you can't. You
You
just
definitely listen to their reputation, people that they worked with before.
right.
What's the guy's name? Todrick Hall.
Oh
He
shit!
he got evicted because he owed
Did he?
60,000. Yeah, he got evicted from his house. His house that he said that was his.
Right. The house that he said it was his.
Yeah, but it wasn't. He
But
was renting
right,
it,
renting exactly. Again, another one playing
stunting.
stunts and shows, stunting and shows.
Hmm.
But he had gotten robbed plenty of times because he's always inviting the girls, the guys. Of course, when I say girls, but his little gay friends and random people he meets to his house or to the house he was renting, and they've came up in there and robbed the joint.
And
They've
robbed him.
cased the joint a few times and
They got
robbed
the
the joint.
case to join if you just opening the door, letting them in.
Well, I mean, they wait till he leave and go on tour or some shit like that because you can't afford to have somebody stay in there to, while you're away to watch the place. So they go in there, ransack it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So I guess he
But
needed to do Big Brother to kind of get his money up. But okay, congratulations.
yeah, but then then he even like on his tours and things like that. A lot of people have been stiffed by him. He's built that reputation.
Right, right. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you watched him play on Big Brother. He was a complete I know some people have played Big Brother villainously, but he took it to a whole different level, and it kind of it didn't look. I mean, even though he wanted
It
to
made him look bad.
he wanted Lamar Odom so bad, even though he tried to play him.
He didn't want him because he just shitted on him.
He did. He did. He act like he didn't want. He act like he didn't want him if he wanted to. But trust, if Lamar would have even gave the slightest bit of let's do this, he'd have been all on it. All on it. Lamar does this, Lamar does that. But every time he looking at Lamar, they catching that camera, catching him. His eyes was dreamy as hell, like oh. And then they'll call him stupid in the confessionals or do some dumb shit like that. But no, he was definitely on it. But
yeah, he wanted to be on it.
Yeah, right. Talking about what is Chloe missing? I want to know. Yeah, it's just crazy. I just don't. You said Todd has his registry. I guess he needs something. He got the Regency where? In Vegas? Does he what is he? I don't know. I don't know what he's doing, but he he's just out of luck, out of sorts, I guess. Good luck for him.
Yeah, like I said, they out here stunting. You bring those habits over from the gram.
I don't know why. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what's if you rent it, you rent it. That's perfectly fine. I mean, people learn that. That's like an old trick. People have learned that back in the day when people used to watch Cribs, like MTV Cribs, and everyone oh, so had a nice crib, so had a nice crib. And it's just you come to find out that's not really their house. They use that, or they, utilize that for what you call it, or
keeping up appearances.
Yeah.
That's all. Just keeping up appearances.
So it's live in your means. If you don't live like that, then that's okay. I mean, you obviously on TV, you obviously, you do tour, so you make some money.
Yeah, but in some cases, I can see not owning a home. If you're moving around, what's the point of you setting down a permanent spot when you may not be on, may not be located, or the majority of your jobs may not be located like on the West Coast or something like that. You have to be bi-coastal, or even when you're traveling out of the country. What's the point of paying on a house that you're not going to be in half the time?
Yeah, but I mean,
I can see if your mom or you had family or something and they live there.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. If you have people, why not have people just stay there then if that's the case? And then you just, you have your room or your area in the house where you would go when you home, and at least somebody's there. So it's not like it was where people was like, oh, he's on tour. Oh, let's break in. It was constantly somebody always breaking in. They're like, oh, how are you letting all these random people
know that's what it was trade.
Right. How are you letting all these
That's what that was. I told you, a friend of mine told me that. He said, he tell everybody never invite trade over, they steal all your cologne.
Oh
That
my
was the
God.
funniest shit I ever
That
heard.
is crazy.
Oh,
That is crazy. I
his
don't
first
know.
day because he was a cologne whore. He'd buy all that expensive ass shit. I said, where's that one you had before? I was like, oh, so and so got that. I was like, I said, I hope it was worth it.
No way.
Oh, funny, man. Funny.
That is crazy. But yeah, that's all I got, I think. We have reached my 2-hour mark. So, I'm done.
You're
Yes,
done?
I am pretty much finished. There's nothing else I really have, unless there was something else that you want to talk about or anything else anybody in the chat wanted to say or to. These minutes are for you guys. Other than that, that's pretty much it. If you wanted to.
Are you going to have another Easter message?
I didn't find another one. I was looking though. I mean, I could still play the same one. It is here.
That's cool.
Ready to go.
That's cool.
Okay, so anyway, we have this great Easter message for those of you who may have missed it or didn't see it last week. Here's the great Easter message for you all from somebody so beloved. Here we go.
Peace and mercy be unto you from God our Father and Savior Lord Jesus Christ. Greetings from Mother. When I think of the goodness of Jesus and all that He done for me, my soul cries out hallelujah. I will trust in the Lord. I will trust in the Lord. I will trust Lord until I die.
What I look like?
You know, that should be our closing.
Look like
when we send people off. You say look like Eveline.
The fingers look like Eveline.
No, I'm waiting for the hack and cough. That should be our closing and farewell. To send everybody off with a message. But it's that call. It's that hacker's call.
It's the hacker's call for me. It's the fingers. It's the whole get up for me. I can't.
And you know what? I actually missed that. I missed that because it reminds me of Easter time when everybody would dress up and they would just wear some of the most outlandish
things, satellite dishes on their head and all kinds of craziness. But that man know he wrong for that. But anyway, everybody, please make sure you moisturize. And until next time, be safe. Wear your damn mask. Keep yourself separated. And until next time, be safe. Love each other. Love yourself more. And peace. Anything you want to say, sir?
Good night.
Good night. All right. Peace.